New Zealand Salesforce podcast. So today I have a very special guest with me, Bill Hammer. He's a marketing cloud expert, one of the leading marketing cloud guys in New Zealand. And I'm so glad that I brought him to my show today. So Bill, welcome to my show. So happy to
Hey,
have you today.
thanks so much for having me. It was great to see your invitation.
Oh, thank you. So let's start with the marketing cloud. So I just wanted to tell the viewers the way it works today. So we're gonna talk about the marketing cloud. I pretend I have no idea about the marketing cloud, so we're gonna start with that, and we talk about few features associated with the marketing cloud, and then we talk about the learning stuff around it. So yeah, is that okay with you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, cool. So coming to marketing cloud. So how many years of marketing cloud experience do you have? Just a general
Yeah,
question.
yeah. I had to look it up on LinkedIn today. It's a little over 15 years.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Uh, right. So you've been working on Marketing Cloud all these years. I mean, is that that's the thing you've been doing, or I mean,
Yeah.
or you have worked on Salesforce other aspect as well?
I've primarily been working on Marketing Cloud for 15 years. Yeah, it
Oh, yeah.
started at Exact Target. So prior to Salesforce releasing Marketing Cloud, they purchased Exact Target, and that became Marketing Cloud. And I was at Exact Target 15 years ago in 2006, and worked for the startup in Indianapolis, Indiana. And the founders thought that there was a better way to build and send permission-based email, and they built a marketing system designed for marketers to be able to send email marketing. And that grew over the years and expanded into marketing automation and other channels, including email, mobile, social, and sites. And over time, Salesforce bought Exact Target went public first, actually, and became a publicly traded company. And then around 2014, Salesforce purchased Exact Target and brought that into the Salesforce stacks and made it Marketing Cloud.
Right. Okay, that sounds interesting. All right, now I'm going to ask you a very dumb question, right? What is a Marketing Cloud? Like,
Like anything at Salesforce, a cloud has a broad set of tools to help a particular industry. In this case, it's the marketing industry. So, Marketing Cloud lets you build and send emails. It lets you build and send SMS. It lets you build your social messages and listen to your social messaging. Lets you build cloud pages that can interact with your marketing data. And it also has a set of data tools that allow you to import, modify, and export your data in a way that you can build a marketing automation system designed to your needs. And then, since then, over time, Salesforce has provided a broader set of tools that will let you put it inside your technology stack, so that it's scalable, secure, and easy to do.
right, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. Pretty cool. Thank you for that. So do you need a separate license to install Marketing Cloud?
Yeah, it is not included in the Sales Cloud, Service Cloud licensing. There is some marketing capability built into Sales Cloud and Service Cloud, and that is something else. That's in Service Cloud. Marketing Cloud has three basic licenses: professional, corporate, and enterprise. And they largely deal with the number of business units, users, and some features you get, as well as your super message volume, which would control largely the number of sends you make.
Right, right. That
You
makes
can always,
sense.
you can always buy more, but it's tiered in those three levels.
So if I wanted to start, say, learning Marketing Cloud, so do I have to request Salesforce for that, or for say to enable the Marketing Cloud, or what's the better way? Say, for instance, I wanted to learn today Marketing Cloud, right? So is there any way I can get it, or what's?
Yeah, fantastic. There's a few different resources available to you. So, one of the things I'm most impressed with at Salesforce was their ability to educate the people using their product. They do a lot of that through Trailhead, which is a free service where you can go out and educate yourself with a series of badges. Um, and core classes. There are over 100 Marketing Cloud trails up there that cover everything from building emails to email marketing best practice, deliverability, automations, etc., etc. You can also use that for some non-technical skills,
Right.
writing skills, presenting skills, and some corollary products, things like Google Analytics, as well, as core Salesforce functionality. I've been using Trailhead now for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and I've slowly built up over time. I'm a I can't
Right.
remember what level that is. That it's called, but I've got over 150 badges at this time. Victor, how many badges you got now?
Me?
You.
Oh man, I'm pathetic in badges, to be honest. I'm I'm a lazy I'm a lazy guy, to be honest. I don't remember, man. I might have
Have you?
80.
Okay,
I
that's
don't have much badges, to be honest.
that's impressive. So have you used Trailhead for any for any non technical reasons, just for general education?
Not really. I mean, I use Trailhead mostly for um if I wanted to say learn a specific aspect of the Salesforce. So I
Right.
just go and use this Trailhead for that.
Yep.
Um,
Another one I thought of that was really useful was GDPR. So
oh
there
yeah, yeah, yeah.
there are like 4 modules out there, something for GDPR, and that taught me. I came away from that going, "Oh, I'm confident I understand how GDPR is going to affect marketing and my part of the business."
Yeah, that's a big thing in the European Union, right? The
Yep.
GDPR stuff for European Union customers. Yeah, that's right. That's that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Amazing. Thank you for that. So let's go a little bit deeper into the Marketing Cloud, right? So we got different features in Marketing Cloud, right? Email Studio, Mobile Studio, Pad Dot, Interaction Studio, Journey Builder. So if I ask you to pick one of it, what's your favorite?
Oh, that's a great question, and a hard one because I love different aspects for different reasons. But I'm going to go with Automation Studio. And the reason being, I can remember being at Exact Target before we had Automation Studio, and we had to build solutions without Automation Studio, and that was a lot more challenging. We were a lot more restricted, and I could remember, how difficult it would be to build certain solutions without without Automation Studio. Once we had Automation Studio, um, as soon as they introduced that, I remember turning to management saying, "You are going to need an ocean of people to service this." And through those talks, we kind of sketched out the tech architects position at Exact Target, and I got to be one of the first. Although I was not the first. The first I believe is Greg Purcell, and I think I was second. But there were a team of 6 of us became the first technical architects at Exact
Right.
Target. And our job was to take Automation Studio and build solutions for getting data in and out of Marketing Cloud and creating a marketing automation solutions. And I was really proud to be a member of that team.
So just for our listeners, so you're saying Automation Studio main task is to get the data in and out of the Marketing Cloud? Is that correct?
Yeah, as well as manipulating the data within Marketing Cloud. So
Right.
so you've definitely got import activity for getting data into to Marketing Cloud into a data extension, which is basically a table. And then you've got query activities, which you can use to select that data, join it to other data extensions, create new tables with
Yeah.
that. And then also you can export that data to integrate with your systems.
So can you schedule that automation process or
Yeah,
is that okay?
absolutely, absolutely. And it's a lot like cron on a Unix server with SQL for the technically minded people, and for the non-technical people, um, it, it's a way to automate getting data in and out of the system.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. We have something called data import and data export in Salesforce space, where you can import the data and export it, so you can automate the data export process. That's cool. Okay, so I just wanted to ask you, what is cross-channel marketing?
Right. So cross-channel marketing refers to sending a message across two mediums. So email and mobile, email and direct mail, maybe SMS and social, to get your message across.
Right. Okay, so these are the channels, right? SMS, email, and what's the other one you said?
Social and Cloud Pages isn't really a channel, but it's also available.
All right. Okay, sounds cool. That's cool. Right. And so I think I just wanted to ask one more thing around the dynamic email. Is that really useful when it comes to Marketing Cloud?
Yeah. So one of in the early days of email marketing, it was all about getting a single email out to as many people as possible. Um, and because email was looked at it as free or as near to free as possible, you wanted to try and get as many subscribers and get your message out to everybody. Over time, people learned to unsubscribe and mark uh, things as spam because it wasn't relevant. So the industry shift into personalizing and making relevant emails at the right time and right place. Dynamic content is one of the tools for getting you from a single email with a single message to a more personalized email by dynamically displaying content to you that is based on your personal preferences. Um, you the advantage to that, or the driver for you as a business, is that your ROI from that email is going to go up, and the ROI from your spend on Marketing Cloud is going to go up. So you're going to get more money by personalizing, by getting more emails designed specifically for the end user. And ideally, what you want that user to feel like is you have a one-to-one email, like that email was just built for them. They're more
Oh,
likely to engage with it, open it, and click on it, which will result in more conversions of what you're trying to, the message you're trying to convey in email.
right.
And yeah,
That sounds cool.
yeah,
Seems like a pretty cool option to me. That's cool. I've been hearing a lot of terms in Marketing Cloud like subscriber. So can you tell me the difference between contacts and subscribers?
sure. Um, so subscribers are the metadata that exists above a email contact. So if you're going to send somebody an email in Marketing Cloud, a subscriber record's going to be created for them
Right,
based on their unique identifier. Typically, that's a unique ID that the customer has, and for every unique ID, there'll be a subscriber record. Every time there's a subscriber record created, a contact record is created, and it uses the same ID as the
right.
unique identifier. So if your subscriber ID is 123, your contact key will be 123. Um, Now, contacts can also be used for other channels than email, for instance, SMS or mobile push. Um, those contacts can be the same as the subscriber one if you have an email address for them, but if you don't have an email address for them, there is no subscriber key. So you can use your unique key for contact key, uh, and there'll be a unique instance for every SMS message you send to somebody or every mobile push message you send to somebody. That's what the contact key is. So there's a relationship between the subscriber key and the contact key,
Right.
but it can also be used for other channels. They don't have to be the same value, but they can be the same value.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. That's cool. Thank you very much for that. Right. I mean, that's pretty cool. So another question I have, right? Most of the listeners might be asking, okay, this is pretty cool. Marketing Cloud is a pretty great place uh, to know stuff about the Marketing Cloud. So are there any certification around Marketing Cloud? Say, for instance, right? Let me give you from my perspective. I came from a technical background, right? Is there any certification like on Marketing Cloud which involves some kind of programming uh, or anything, or purely from a technical perspective?
Yeah, so there are 4 Salesforce certifications for Marketing Cloud.
Right.
Email specialist is the first one,
Yeah.
and that unlocks 2 of the next 3. The next 3 are administrator, developer, and consultant.
Right. Okay.
There's also a additional email communications product called Pardot that has an additional 2 certifications as well.
All right. Sounds cool. So that's cool. So, you have different options, different flavors, I would say. For a developer, it's different. For a consultant, it's different, right? So, is there any specific programming language? I'm just asking this out of curiosity. Is there any specific programming language that normally people use in Marketing Cloud? Like, for instance, right,
Yep.
from the Salesforce space, you have Apex, you have JavaScript for LWC side of things, but inside the Marketing Cloud, if you wanted to custom build something, do you have to use a specific programming language?
There's a few. So the first one, the first one is AMP script. AMP script is its original purpose was around providing more functionality for making dynamic email content.
Right.
So there's a utility in Salesforce Marketing called Dynamic Content, which has a UI for you to click on and say if this field has this value, display this content area. You can do the same thing with AMP script and do it in code. So it
Right.
gives you more advanced capabilities there, but it also lets you do data transformation, date manipulation, string methods, retrieving of data, retrieving of a single row, retrieving a data set. You can do for loops, if then statements to run through that. And for instance, pick up all of the for like a travel company, you might want a list of all the flights available to all the cities, um, to all the hotels, and you can have all that data in Marketing Cloud in data extensions, and then AMP script can be used to say, okay, here's your flight ID number. Go out and get the record for that flight ID, and you could see it's what time it was
Right.
going to fly, what the destination, arrival, and then maybe what's the city it's going to, and then pull up from another table all the hotels in that city that have availability, and you can dynamically put that into an email and send it out. That's something you might do with AMP script.
Right.
That's one of the classic examples of AMP script.
Cool.
There's another scripting language. We use JavaScript, and that's primarily used in cloud pages and in script activities. So you can send an email and click out to a landing page at Marketing Cloud. And then if you want to use code to write back to maybe have a form, update a data extension field for a survey to see how your flight was, you could use JavaScript to write back those values to a table to collect that survey.
Sounds
Uh,
cool.
yeah, there's another language called GTL,
Right.
which is kind of like mustache or handlebars. And it's similar to functionality in the AMP script. It would let you look up data in tables and display that content. It's a little bit more controlled that way. And then finally, SQL is a very advantageous language to know for Marketing Cloud. With query activities in Marketing Cloud, you can put SQL into a query activity and
Right.
select data from one table and put it into another. And there's a lot of good work that can be done with SQL. Yeah, and we highly encourage our customers to develop that skill or bring somebody in who's got that skill.
Right, that sounds cool. I mean, I do like SQL skill a lot. I mean, I've done a lot of work in SQL Server. So yeah, the Salesforce has something called Socal, which is, in my opinion, is pretty limited. But yeah, it's a proprietary language. But that's so cool. Right, that's pretty awesome. I really like that. Because especially the developer side of things, that's really got me excited, to be honest, to have a look at it. Now, coming to the demand from a New Zealand space, are there growing demand on
Yeah,
for marketing cloud professionals?
yeah, the market is telling me that it's growing in demand. There's an awful lot of demand, especially over the COVID era. It has taken on even more importance. There's an acceleration, I think, around the world, but also in New Zealand, of companies moving to online. I think it's always been in their plan, to have a greater online presence, to shift more of their business to be able to be done from home. But COVID has accelerated all those plans, and kind of brought them forefront. The budgets have increased, and there's a large demand. And with the lack of travel restrictions at the moment, it's difficult to bring in talent from around the world. So that's creating quite a bit of demand at the moment.
All right, okay, that makes sense. Right, last question. So we'll mark it as an end of our podcast after that. Do you recommend Marketing Cloud to someone with no Salesforce experience? Let's say I come to you tomorrow and say, hey, Bill, do you recommend that I can get onto Marketing Cloud, but I got no Salesforce experience?
Um, yeah, Salesforce experience is not necessary for Marketing Cloud. It's definitely helpful, but it's not required.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. That's pretty cool. So that's pretty much I wanted to talk about today, Bill. It's been awesome that you covered a lot of things, and I really appreciate your time today. So thank you so much, Bill, for having on the show today.
Yeah, Vic, thanks for having me on. It was great.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.